Great, Eric.
Okay. Hey guys, good evening on a hot day. We're gonna do some hot business on this Zoom call. So how's everybody doing? I hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. So this evening we're gonna talk about youthfulness in your future. And we don't mean like way down in your future. We mean about like starting today, or as soon as we can get product in your hand, we're gonna make your life different. If you ever heard of the fountain of youth, this is truly the real fountain of youth. What do I mean? See, as we get older, we should know how to take care of ourselves better. Sometimes we get worse as we get more mature. But I'm going to introduce something today with an awesome young lady that's fixing to get ready to come on and do a presentation for us, Miss Verdita Monk, about how we can get the fountain of youth and how we can benefit from it in our life today. I would tell you, if you have no sickness, you still need it just to maintain a good lifestyle, just to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So if you're in good shape and need nothing, and you just want to make sure you stay in good shape, then this is also for you that's healthy and that's good. If you have some ailments, no matter what it is, you can bring it up and ask questions tonight once we do the presentation and see how I can help you, a loved one, a neighbor, a friend. So without further ado, Eric Murry, Eminent Professional Services, bring you some new information and a new idea of how to live youthful, no pain, no sickness, no disease. It really can happen, y'all. Verdita Monk with X39, awesome young lady we bring into the table. So we're going to enjoy her and hear what she has to say. And it's in your hands, Miss Monk.
Well, thank you so much, Eric, for inviting me to your call. And I'm going to ask, let's see if there's somebody that's unmuted, just muted them. So, excuse me. Thanks so much for inviting me to your call and introducing me to your special guest. You know, I met Eric about a couple of weeks ago, I guess, over the phone. And then the other night I met him in person. Such a pleasure to be around him and to gain knowledge from him. And being such an open-minded individual, when he heard this information that I'm about to share with you, he wanted to make sure you heard it just like the same way he heard it. I'm going to give it to you firsthand. Let me tell you how I got here. My husband and I were contacted about 18 months ago by a friend of ours by the name of Ken Robinson. And literally, he said, I got something that you need to try. And he said, it's a patch. He was referring to this patch that I'm going to be talking to you about tonight. And he, just kind of, told us, he didn't really tell us anything, but he did get us on a call like the one you're on right now. And you're going to learn a lot of information in a very short period of time on this call. But when he got us on this call and we heard some testimonies of things that had happened to people that were unbelievable. We could not deny what we had heard. And we were literally about to go out of town. And when we got out of town, the first thing we noticed, he met us to give us some samples. So the first thing we noticed when we got to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was my mother-in-law, who's 92 years old, was having excruciating pain in her knee. Now, I've never seen her out of 40 years have pain anywhere, but she had it in her knee and she was almost looked like she was in tears. And so we said, why don't we just try this patch on her? Because she had tried pain medicine and all this. So we put this patch on her knee and put her to bed because it was nighttime when we got there. The next morning she woke up and the pain was gone. We figured, that's what the patch does. So we said, well, let's just put the patch on ourselves out of curiosity to see what it might do for us. And we didn't really have any aches and pains or illnesses or anything like this. So we didn't really expect anything. But the next morning when we woke up, I noticed that my husband had not snored that night, but I did not attribute it to the patch. And the reason that was so significant is because this man had been snoring every single night like a bear for over 10 years. Not only was he snoring really bad, he was also choking and coughing with acid reflux. It was terrible. I couldn't hardly sleep in the same room with him. It was terrible. So that got our attention. But it was the next night when it happened again. That's when I realized it had to have been the patch. But do you know that he's not snored since November of 2022? So that got our attention, and hopefully that'll get your attention too, because I don't want you to think what I'm about to share with you is just about pain. It's about some amazing things that you would never imagine. And that's why we want to spread the word the way Eric is doing, spreading the word so everybody know about it. So let me go ahead and pull my screen up and get right to the meat of this information. Now, let me tell you this. Why would you, there's, you see this question up here, have you ever been patched? Well, why would a person want to get patched? Let me tell you something. This has to do with stem cell technology. Now, if you've ever heard of stem cell injections, that's not what we're talking about. But let me tell you why people get stem cell injections. People get stem cell injections because the doctors have exhausted all of their options. They've got some crisis situation and doctors can't do anything about it. They are desperate. I was speaking on a friend of mine just this morning from Phoenix who it was getting ready to go to look into stem cell injections, but she heard about this patch and called me. But people do that because they're desperate. The problem with stem cell injections is, first of all, they're expensive. They can range from $5,000 all the way up to $100,000. They're localized, meaning if you've got a pain in your knee, but yet you have a rotator cuff injury, pain up here, it's not going to help the shoulder because it's localized. That injection is only going to help your knee. It's not covered by insurance, and 30% of the time it doesn't work. So those are some, it's coming from an embryo or somebody's umbilical cord. It's all these reasons why I wouldn't, it's so controversial and many people don't want to do that. Well, this is why you may want to consider the patch, because not only does it do everything those injections are supposed to do, it is not localized. It means it's systematic. It sends a signal to your brain. So whatever part of your body needs the restoration, this patch is going to address that. It is not expensive. It's less than a cup of coffee per day. It's not anything in it. So it's nothing being injected into your body. So that's why we ask you, have you been patched? Because if you've not been patched, once you put this patch on, your copper peptides in your body are going to be elevated, which in turn are going to reactivate the stem cells in your body so that your body can heal itself the way God intended it to do. Now, why is it necessary to even reactivate your stem cells? Well, you see, the older we get, the slower we heal. The faster you age, the slower you're going to heal. And your body can't heal itself. If you're over 30 years old, half of your stem cells are dormant and therefore they're not working. But by the time you're 60, almost all of your stem cell activity is gone. So you definitely don't have any stem cells left to help heal your body. But here's a gentleman that proved everybody wrong. They said that no one could ever come up with a way to reactivate your own stem cells. The only way you can get stem cells is through the embryos or umbilical cords, like I was telling you about. But David Smith proved him wrong. He's a brilliant scientist, an inventor. And he started his career back about 20 years ago when he was commissioned by the federal government to come up with something to energize the Navy SEALs when they were underground in these submarines energized for like 36 hours at a time with no food and no, nothing to energize them. And that was a big success because even doctors heard about that and elite athletes from these colleges. And athletes are not allowed to put anything into their body to help them be more, stronger or effective, but they were willing to do the patch because there's nothing in the patch. And so then he started focusing his attention back in 2008 on stem cell research. It took him 10 years to develop this patch and $4.5 million. So he created a lot of different patches with these patents, but this patch right here is his masterpiece. This is better than all those other patches he's ever done. Now, the patch is patented. That simply means it had to be proven. And that's why they had over 80 case studies. Took 10 years in those 80 case studies, but also by being patented means it's exclusive. Nobody can duplicate this. Nobody can market this except for our company, Lifeway. And right there in the patent, it says that it elevates the copper peptides in our bodies, including the activation of stem cells, improving energy, so many other things that it does. And I'm going to tell you about those as well. So we've got another 16 years to have exclusivity with this patent. Now, how does this patch work? It's very, very simple. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. And if you've never heard of phototherapy before, think about when you go out into the sun, and when the sun elevates vitamin D, that's a form of phototherapy. So phototherapy is not new. It's been around for centuries. As a matter of fact, this, like these plants, photosynthesis, all of this is all in the same family. In this patch are nanocrystals. They're formulated in a lab, an FDA registered lab. And so it's nothing but plants and salts and sugars in this patch, but they're crystals. And what happens when you put the patch on your body, the light of your body, we're light beings, and we've got heat in our body, the light of your body reflects off of these crystals. And when it happens, it elevates the copper peptides and in turn reactivate your stem cells. That is a phenomenon right there. It's just literally a miracle that this is able to do this. So all it's doing is reflecting light to activate, and is non-transdermal, meaning nothing is going into your body. There's nothing to go into your body. There are no drugs or chemicals or stimulants, non-invasive. So this is reason doctors like this, is because it's not competing or, with medications that they're prescribing for their patients. So now we're not saying that these products are going to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. All this patch is going to do is reboot your body. Now, there are many benefits that many of us have experienced, and some of us, have other types of benefits as well that I'll kind of talk about as we go along. But first of all, increased strength. As we get older, you heard Eric talk about the fountain of youth. As we get older, we're not as strong. We're just not as strong as we used to be. Reduced inflammation. If you've got anywhere, any kind of pain or disease in your body, you better believe there's some inflammation. Increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity. I'm a big proponent of that mental clarity because I have a career. I'm an interior designer, which means that I had to have a lot of projects and a lot of details associated with the projects that I work on. And I mean, it could be overwhelming. And I used to be overwhelmed. It was just like, but I had to do it, it's my job. And that I'm just as calm and just know that I'm going to be able to get through these projects now. It's a whole different feeling now than before. Restores muscular skeletal systems. So this is a big one because, as we get older, our bones are less dense. Sometimes people get something called osteoporosis as we get older. It's just inevitable. I told you about the sleep that my husband and I experienced. By the way, although he's not snoring anymore, my sleep and his as well is very, very deep. And we, have these vivid dreams. And how you got problems that you're trying to solve. It seems like I'm always being able to get answers to things while I'm asleep. This patch is really incredible. Improved skin appearance. I've seen pictures of people who've had vitiligo, where it was the discoloration in your skin. There's no cure for it. But with this patch, within 1 year, this one gentleman, every bit of the vitiligo is gone. Another gentleman in 90 days, much of it had disappeared. So, acne and all other kind of skin conditions have improved with this. So we're here to achieve an optimal state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Now, I told you that there were case studies. So let me tell you about the case studies. The case studies, in the very first few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. And I'm going to share a testimony with you in a moment that really reflects what it means when we say the brain becomes balanced. But if you've got anything like, or know someone with PTSD, someone is autistic, someone that has Alzheimer's or dementia, someone is depressed, all of that is reflection of the brain being unbalanced. Within 6 months, within 3 months, your collagen is being increased. So the collagen is holding your bones together. It's in your muscles. It's in your skin. It's everywhere in our body. So that's important. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. I have a friend who that really demonstrates what we mean by that. First of all, they say that every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart reverses 8 years. Do you want your heart to reverse? Do you want your heart to get younger and younger and all the other organs in your body? That's what this patch does. So my friend Jeffrey demonstrates this very well. First of all, he's diabetic and has been diabetic for 10 years. And he was prescribed 5 insulin shots per day. That's what he had to do to maintain his sugar, his glucose levels. And so about 4 years ago, he had a stroke. And so it left him paralyzed on one side. He had to learn how to do everything all over again. But they also did not let him leave the hospital without a pacemaker and defibrillator. So about 1.5 years ago, his friend brought some patches over and had him to try them. And within 3 days, his glucose numbers were normalized. So he hasn't been taking insulin at all for over 1.5 years now. But 6 weeks, every 6 weeks, he had to see that cardiologist. And when he went back to the cardiologist this time, that in 6 weeks, the cardiologist came out, and it was normally the nurse, but this time it was the cardiologist that came out and said, "Mr. Payton, what are you doing?" He says, "What do you mean, what am I doing?" He says, "Well, your heart is no longer relying on your pacemaker. It's operating on its own. This is unheard of." And he told him what he was doing with the patch. He said, "The only thing I've been doing differently is this patch." And do you know that he said, "Come back in a year." So he came back this February, and that made a year. And he said, "You don't need to come back for 2 years." He is so happy. His whole life has been changed. Because see what happens when this patch sends a signal. It's a frequency in this patch that's sending a signal to your brain, and your brain knows what your body needs. His went to his heart because his heart needed those stem cells. Now, you're looking at a map right here called a topography map. And on this topography map, it just reflects what happened when the 77-year-old woman placed one of these patches on the back of her neck. And as you can see, this red area reflects inflammation in her brain, and she had lack of brain coherence. 3 weeks later, they looked at it again, and she had no more inflammation. So you don't see any more red, and improved brain coherence. 3 weeks later, complete turnaround. So a total of 6 weeks, her brain, which was hyperactive, calmed down and remained that way after a total of 6 weeks. So this could be your brain. This could be your heart, because inflammation is not just in your brain. It's but those people that have all that inflammation in their brain, that's why they have all this imbalance in their brain. But it could be your heart. It could be your liver. It could be anything. But this is just an example of what we mean when we say getting rid of that inflammation. So now, how do you wear the patch? It's very simple. You're going to wear this patch 12 hours a day, 12 on and 12 off. You're going to, let's say, for example, if you started at 8 in the morning, you're going to take it off at 8 in the evening to allow your body to repair and rejuvenate, and just throw that patch away, because you get 30 patches within this, package that I have right here. Now, when you put and then all you're going to do is you got to make sure that you are, you make sure that you're hydrated, because this is energy flowing through your body, and you want to make sure that, it's going to be detoxing you. So you have to stay hydrated. Okay. Now I could sit here all evening and be very scientific with you. We have a website that we're going to send you to, so you can see all those case studies I told you about. We're going to let you hear all kinds of testimonies, but what I'm going to do is share something else with you to make this crystal clear what I'm talking about. I want you to see this for yourself. This may be the site I'm looking for. Okay, let's stop that. Wait a minute. Okay. So the first testimony, I told you about the brain being unbalanced, right? On this testimonies that demonstrate this, okay?
to be here. What a dynamic group of people just giving their little nuggets throughout the day. So my name is Olga Swikowski from Bergen County, New Jersey, and this is Javi Solis, my soon-to-be husband. We are, we came here 6 months ago, and I've shared my story with some people before. I don't know if all of you know it, and if you don't, here's a piece. My son has severe autism. We have been doing non-traditional treatments for about 5 years now. We have traveled internationally for stem cell injections. We have seen small improvements with those injections. When this patch was introduced to us 6 months ago, I said, this is holistic. There's nothing that can go wrong here. The worst thing I can do is nothing. So we put the patch on, and within weeks, we saw tremendous improvements. 90% of the autistic community, if anybody here has somebody in the community, 90% of them have motor challenges. So when we put that patch on, I call it the brain-body disconnect. So we put that patch on and we see things start working. We see my son started riding a bike. He's swinging on a swing now. He's 9 years old. He was never able to do that. So this patch, in my personal opinion, is the best thing that we ever done for my son. And I will never, ever go internationally to get stem cell injections. So there's nothing else like it.
All right, so let me get to this next testimony here. What I like about this one is that it covers so many things. So many things.
Thank you for having us to join you tonight. My husband, Richard, and I began using the stem cell patch on August the 20th. So today is day 17 of using the patch, and we have really had some success with it. Everyone is different, and my testimony may not be yours, but it has proven itself to us. The first thing that I noticed, the very first day that I used the patch, that day that I put the patch on, I didn't have any hot flashes, and I have had hot flashes since I was 37 years old, and I'm 63 now, and they were very bad day and night. And now I very seldom have them. The first day I didn't have any. The second day I think I had 2, and maybe 2 the next day. I think I had, if I recall today, I've had 1, and they're very mild. So it is really changing my hot flashes, and I'm so grateful for that. The other thing, I had neuropathy in my right foot, and I've had it for years, where my right foot is always cold, and it's cold in the bones. It feels like it's cold in the bones, and it's so annoying and aggravating. And I just happened to notice a few nights ago that it wasn't cold. My husband asked me about my foot because I'm always talking about how cold it is, and it wasn't cold, and it hasn't been. So the neuropathy in my foot has subsided. Carpal tunnel syndrome in both hands that I've had for over 25 years, and in my elbow, I'm not having any carpal tunnel pain at all since using the patch. Tinnitus in my ears. It sounds like water's running in my ears all the time. And this started about 5 years ago, and now it's very minimal sound in my ears. I can see that it is going away. And just recently, I think it was on Sunday, I had shared with Richard that I have these, I don't know, these little bumps that just come on my left foot. And I've been seeing a dermatologist, and she told me, oh, it's just with aging. And she gave me some ointment to use, and I'll use the ointment for about 2 weeks, and then they'll go away. Well, prior to using the patch, one of the little bumps came on my foot, and I just started putting the ointment on it. And then after I started using the patch, it was just gone. And I happened to notice it was gone. And it didn't leave a scar. It didn't leave it's not discolored as it has been in the past. It's just the weirdest thing, was just gone. So those are a couple of things that I have noticed that's going on with me. And I am just so grateful. My skin, Lester's right about the skin. My skin is totally changing. I do not have any makeup on. And my skin is just, it feels so good. It's the color, it's bright. I feel vibrant, and my skin just glows. And I normally have oily skin. I don't have oily skin anymore. So I am just grateful for what it's doing for me. And then Richard can share a little bit.
Good evening, everyone. In again, I'm happy that my wife is so much better.
Finding an affordable place to live is really hard. There are a lot.
The last one I want to share with you real quick.
Is because the guy's name is Carlos Milligan, and he had a stroke. In fact, he had 2 strokes, and he has a speech impediment. So we wouldn't be able to understand him clearly if he was on here, but he is excited. We went to him by way of his sister. She's Angela's best friend, and she told us about him having the stroke and stuff, and he was excited and looking for something. Now, if you see my hand, how I'm holding my hand, this is how he holds his hand in his arm. This is how he was holding it. And the stroke had bothered him and had him on this side, his neck. He was having problems, and he could not move anything, on his hand. So we patched him here and here with the ice wave. We put the X39 on his neck because he was having such pain. And we started talking to him and just sitting there giving him a few minutes to see what was going to happen. And all of a sudden he took this thumb and did that. He went over to his little finger and he did that. And then the next time we saw him, which was about 2 days later, he was doing this. He was doing that. So I talked to his sister, and now he's able to do this. He has full range of his hand. So within a week's time, the stroke that he had 2 of them now, he was able to move his hand actually, and he's getting relief in the pain in his shoulders, and he is excited. And before we left him the first time, he said, I need my product. He was telling his sister, I need this now. So just to see that from having a stroke, not able to do anything but this, to this and this, we're excited.
So let's see. So now, I guess you understand what I mean. You heard several things. You heard people talking about let me stop this. You heard people that had a parent of a young man that had autism. So when I started talking about the brain being unbalanced, the stroke that she just talked about is also a reflection of the brain. But motor skills, a lady with the hot flashes and neuropathy. So all these I wanted you to hear a variety of things, and the list goes on and on. This is not all inclusive. There's so many other things that the patch does, but I hope that you understood from the variety of things that I share with you that this patch is amazing. So let me get back to this patch, and you can get more testimonies on this site called thisisit.info.com. If you go there, there's a menu button, click on testimonies, you hear all kinds of testimonies. So also you'll get the information about the case studies, all kinds of doctors' reviews, all about phototherapy. Everything you need to know about this is it. And we send our doctors. This is where we send doctors and medical people in the medical field. Everybody we send to this website. Now, I want to ask you to put your business hat on, you guys, because let me tell you why. What is going to happen when you start experiencing these benefits of these patches? You're going to go and tell your sister. You're going to go and tell your brother. You're going to go and tell somebody like Eric. And guess the next thing, because you're excited about what happened to you. And I want you to know that the company actually compensates us when we share with other people. That's all we do. We just share with other people. But I want you to know the name of our company is called LifeWave. And it's a very solid company. It's a 19-year-old company. But while it was around, doctors knew about it. They were just selling the patches to patients in their office, but they weren't spreading the word the way we were. So the company was still doing about 20 million a year for about 16 years. And then all of a sudden, in the last 3 years, it went up to 320 million. But by the end of 2023, our company exceeded 430 million. And so we are growing extremely fast. We're in over 75 countries. And so this is not the kind of product that you can go anywhere and get it, like you might go somewhere and get weight loss or skincare or supplements. You can get those anywhere, but you cannot just go anywhere and get this product because it is exclusive to LifeWave. Now, this chart right here just shows you that our company is the fastest growing home-based business company in the world. And it's on a site called businessforhome.org. Down here, it says #1 in momentum. And our company is that. And not only that, we're on the fastest growing team within the company. So we're at a good place, you guys. So I don't know about you, but there's a lot of things on this chart. They're important to me. There may be things on here that's important to you, probably all of them. Everybody loves their family. Family is #1, should be #1 on this list. Time freedom. You know, my youngest daughter, who happens to be a physician, and I was telling her about some of the things we're doing. She said, you must be happy. I mean, something she said, to be able to do all this stuff and would not have to worry about getting off of work and stuff. I say, I sure am. I'm thankful I've got time freedom, because what this opportunity right here is going to offer you, the income is going to start coming in because it's going to spread. I'm going to make it crystal clear how you're going to get that income. You guys, we got to be concerned about Social Security. We don't know that Social Security is going to be around based on what you're hearing up there in Washington, D.C., but you're going to get better health, and we hope to get you out of debt, okay? And let me tell you how this works. And then remember, I was telling you, I'm going to make it crystal clear about how you're going to make the money. Say, for example, if this was you, I saw somebody on this call. Let's see if I see somebody named Dale. Okay, I see Dale on the call. Let's say this was you, Dale, and you decided, I want to try some of those patches, and you get one of the packages that I'm going to share with you in a moment. And then you said, well, you know, my sister, she's got neuropathy. She needs to try some of these patches. She liked, you know, what it felt like. She decided to get a package as well. Maybe your colleague, somebody you know that has had a stroke. Somebody's had a stroke, and you tell them about the patches. They decide to get a package, and the story, and it keeps going on and on. When you get 4 people, now you're in a position to be what we call a manager, and you get a chance to participate well, first of all, as soon as you share this with 2 people, you get to be what we call binary qualified. But when you get 4 people that you personally enroll, now you've gotten to be a manager, and you can get paid up to $25,000 per week in the binary. Okay, this is tremendous, but let me tell you how it works. Not only are you positioning people in this binary, let's say the person above you, in this case, it might be Eric. Eric might bring another person on board. Guess where Eric's person has to fall? They either have to fall on your left side, you know, they might fall on your left side, or they may fall on your right side. But in other words, all the people that he's bringing on board, maybe there's another person who enrolled Eric into this, and everything that is happening, their people have to fall below you. And every time these people sign up with a package, or if they, you know, come back the next month and get more product, because for example, in my case, my husband and I are not going to stop using the product, but every time we place an order, it goes through the binary, and you get paid on everybody that falls under you, whether you know them or not. And so that is a very exciting concept. It is paid to infinity. There could be 1,000 people right here on this left side, and you're going to get paid on every last one of them every single time they place an order, okay? Now, this is the part that I really, really like. It's called the matching bonus program. Now, of course, in addition to you getting money in the binary, you do get paid every time you share this with somebody and they get a package. That's, everybody gets that. But the binary is a team commission. The matching bonus simply means all those people that you've shared it with, let's say you shared it with me, and I started sharing it with other people, and I started earning money in the binary. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say I've earned $1,000 this week. You get to earn 25% of what I earned, which is $250. But the company does not take it from what I earn. It is on top of what I earn. It gives you $250 on top of what I'm earning. So I'm still keeping my 1,000. But you might have 10 people over time that are earning $1,000 a week. That means in that scenario, you'd be earning $2,500 that week. We do get paid every week, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, guess what? In order for us to earn money in that binary, in order for me to be, you know, on your first level, that means I've referred some people that are going to fall on your second level. Meaning, if I enroll 10 people and they each earned $1,000, that you'd make $200 every time they earn that 1,000. So now that's $2,000. But there's could be 100 people on your second level, because if I enroll 10, and then those other 10 people, 9 people that I said that you enroll, and they all enrolled 10, that's 100 people now just on your second level. It could be more than that. And it gets bigger and bigger. On the third level, same thing, you're getting 20% of the people that fall in your third level. So the company's paying out 65% in matching bonuses. You guys, it is very, very rewarding, and it has definitely changed our life. Now, how do you get started? This form that you're looking at, Eric is going to, he's either send it to you via WhatsApp or your phone or email or something like that. But this form basically shows you the packages we recommend. Well, let me just say this. If you just said you want to try one sleeve, it's going to cost you $150, because, you know, that's the retail price. I always recommend people get it at the wholesale price, the way we're getting it, because not only are you going to save money, so let me show what that looks like. If you get the silver pack, you're going to get 3 sleeves for $300. So now you're paying $100 per sleeve. But if you had got 2 of the at the retail price, that's going to cost you $300 just for 2. So it's better to pay $300 for 3. Do you agree? And especially if you're married, now there's one for you and one for your spouse. And more than likely, you're gonna let your brother or sister try some of these patches, so you got extra. The gold pack is for people. Let me go to let me just go to the next page, because I want to make it clear. But all the information that we need to capture, your name, your date of birth, your address, your credit card information, how are you going to pay for the pack, that's the information we want to capture from this form. So you want to, provide that information to Eric, and he will get you in the system. He is launching right now. And the faster you get this information to him, the sooner you will go in the system. Let me go back to this. So here, this is a closer up view of it. The people who know for a fact they are ready to run. Let me tell you something. We have a very strong team. We just got a strong team. And but between me and my husband, our sponsor and his sponsor, we have all made millions in the industry. So we kind of know what we're doing. And anybody who's ready to run with this is the package you need. You need to get the gold package. The gold package is $500. It's going to give you 5 sleeves. So you see, you're only paying $100 no matter what package you get. You're getting 5 sleeves, but that's more. That's enough for you to, share with other people, because more than likely they're going to see some results right away. And this is how you move your business. Some people want to sign up right then. They don't want to wait. They don't want to just try. They want to go ahead and sign up right then. But you're going to get an extra free pack sleeve with this one. We call them sleeves, and they come into this 30-day supply envelope, and it gives you also this beautiful packaging. Okay. And then for those serious people like me and my husband, we started out with the diamond pack. That's $1,600. But guess now you're spending $84 a sleeve. So now you're saving money, more like a bundling discount. But in other words, you're getting $1,900 worth of products for $1,600. Okay. And so when we did that, we had 25 couples that we send them 10 samples out. You don't have to do it that way, but it gives you extra inventory, because I guarantee you people are going to want to know, can I get some right now? Sure you can, because here it is right here. I have the inventory. Now I can just charge them $150 for 1 sleeve. Or if somebody decides to partner with me, I can loan them one of these sleeves until theirs comes in, so that they might be able to sample it with people, because we are moving fast. So the beautiful thing about the diamond pack is, if anybody that you tell about this, they decide they want to the diamond pack. If you have the diamond pack yourself, you make $500. If you don't have the diamond pack, you're going to make $200. And the difference of that $300 is going to roll up to the person above you. Okay. The person above you that's a diamond or a senior director on our team, they will receive that $300. And it is, so that's another thing. Now, in order to get paid in that binary that I told you about, you must stay active, meaning every month you must purchase at least 1 sleeve of the X39. Well, that's simple, because you need to work. You should be using it yourself. Remember, you're trying to reverse your aging, and for every decade that you're born, that you've been living, you need the patch for at least 1 month. So if you're 70 years old, you need to wear the patch 7 months. So you definitely want to stay active, but as far as earning income, you need to be active with 1 sleeve. And then, but that's going to allow you to keep your points, and it's going to allow you to earn up to $100 a week. But I'm sure if you're like me, you don't want to limit yourself to $100 a week. And that's why we say 2 sleeves, because for $200 a month, now you got enough for you, and you got enough to share, and you get to max out the comp plan. So if you're married, you need 2 anyway, because you and your spouse both need it. So those are all the reasons that you want to either get 1 sleeve or 2 sleeve, a diamond pack gold. Get in where you fit in. Whatever works for you, you get in. That's what matters, because you can always upgrade. If you start out with a silver and you want to be a gold, because that is where you can get promoted in the company. If you're at the gold pack, all you do is pay the difference of $200, and then you still get 2 more sleeves. So there's no penalty. If you upgrade to the diamond, they just charge the difference in the price of the package. So there is no penalty, once again, for starting out at a lower package. Now, these cards that you're looking at are just what we put them in an envelope and put some of these patches in here, drop them in the mail or whatever we got to do. But it does have information on these cards so that people can understand, some of the benefits. It also talks about where you place the patch, and you want to, just information, and also that this is an info.com website. So this is just a tool we use to pass out the patches. And This Is It team is a website that shows the system we use. Everything you need to know, how to get to manager, how to get to director, how much you get paid. All of these kinds of things are on This Is It team. So now, you guys, it is time to make your move. If you're serious about your dreams, whether it's your health, some people dream of being healthy. I mean, if you're already healthy, you may not understand how significant that can be for some people. But when you're not healthy, that could be your dream. It could be your dreams to go to college, or putting your kids through college, or travel, whatever it is. If you get started with this program, we can help you get your dreams realized. And so with that being the case, I want to allow Eric to close the call out, and then to get back to him as soon as you can, so that we can get these forms in and get your product coming.
Hey, well, thank you so much, Miss Verdita Monk. Awesome as usual. You don't know, guys, we got a celebrity on the line, and I'm just so honored that she was able to be with us today and make time. Believe me, I had to wait on her to give me a call back, because people were calling her to sign up. So I had some people already send me requests. Sanford Bowser, I think Sanford is in California again, or either in Canada. I just sent you your application. Lamarco Kennard, I just sent it to you. And Mr. Michael Morgan in North Carolina, I'm going to get ready to send it to you guys. As you can see, I put in the notes my name, my email address, my telephone number. What I want to do is, I'm a one-on-one kind of guy. And for all of you who came tonight, I'm going to make myself available for you. If you want to call me this evening, or on tomorrow, or next week, I want to take maybe 15, 20 minutes to talk to you individually, so we can know what your goals are, what some of the things you want to see happen in your life and your health, so that you can get on board with what's happening, because you don't want to miss this train, because it is moving. Also, I want to share with you, to get back, and Ms. Monk said in such an, the examples that she used were just so great, but I want to just kind of enhance it a little bit even more. The stem cell is the cell in your body that gives life. When we are babies and toddlers and grammar school and high school, you remember how we have so much energy and nothing bothers us? Well, that's that stem cell working. What happens with it, because we became humans, natural, instead of staying in the garden, supernatural, the stems, they lessen. So like she was telling you, by the time you get 30, half of the stem cells are not functioning anymore. By the time you get 60, you only got 10% of them. You're actually rejuvenating the stem cell that you were born with, through this process. You can't help but be healthy. You can't help feel great. And I'm telling you, I'm getting my patch. I'm telling you, I'm on it. I've already made a change in my life. I lost 50 pounds last year. Haven't gained any of it back. I've changed my diet. This is just going with my plan because I decided I'm in my 60s. I know I don't look like it, but I'm in my sexy 60s, and I plan to be in my super 70s, and I plan to get better and better with life because we can. We don't have to live and think that we're just gonna die and fizzle away and be ever. That's not
I like that super 70s. I like that.
Yeah,
term.
super
Sexy
70s.
60s. Did you say sexy 60s?
Yes.
Okay, sexy 60s. I received that. But listen, but in addition to Eric, not more importantly, not just you, I know you feel good when you think, oh, this might help my grandmother that has dementia. Do you
Yeah.
mean that this will, so you go to that, this is it info, you're gonna see testimonies on all of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna give you hope. Remember, I talked about hope on that last page. This is giving you hope. Trust me, you guys, you're gonna be so blessed when you start working using this patch, and you're going to be able to bless others because that's what this is all about.
Now, what you want to understand, we're going to be the Murry Mogul team, and we're going to be the team to be reckoned with because, see, there's some people already out there doing it, but some of this new stuff is coming in, and we got to take care of our business, y'all. So I am super excited. I am too busy to do another thing, but I made place for this product because actually, I told the Lord I want to live 120 because there are people in Asia that live to be 110 because of their atmosphere and how they eat. They're riding bikes, they're exercising, they're tumbling around. 100, 110 years old, you see them to be like, what? So in America, it's different for us. And we have to change our atmosphere. We have to change where we eat, how we think, how we live. So we don't have to get old and cranky and want to be bothered about being in pain all the time. You don't have to live like that. That's the main reason I got in this. The money we're gonna make it's gonna happen. It's just a part of the deal.
And Eric, I want to say one more thing. I don't want people to minimize the power of this patch just because it's $100 a month. David Schmidt is a humanitarian. He's a scientist and inventor, but he is a humanitarian at heart. And his office, he has a big corporation. They priced it, they determined what this is worth. This is worth $450 per month, but he didn't want it to be that price. They said he said, please bring the price down. They came back $350, $250. He said, no, we came out at $99 per month. That just shows you his heart. So I'm letting you know, don't think because of the price is so minimal that it's not as powerful as it is. This is a powerhouse in this patch.
Now, in the patches, and I'm going to ask her to open up the line for the last 5 minutes. So if anybody has any questions or want to say anything or ask anything, but I want to say this quick. In the patch, there are different patches that have natural products in them, plants, whatever. This patch is the only one that has the crystal in it.
No, we have other, made,
the main one that we have, not talking about the other ones.
Well, all of them are made out of, none of them have anything in them except for plants and sugars. What is different about each patch is the frequency, because they in the lab, they have to, it takes a while to find the right frequency because one frequency does one thing, but only thing we really want to address on this call is the X39. But like he said, we have a patch called the Ice Wave, and that patch, I don't care what kind of pain you have, that pain is going to go away in 10 seconds or less, just like it did with the lady that had migraines for 25 years, 5 days a week. It wasn't until member came into her house and put the Ice Wave on her neck that pain went away, she said, in 2 seconds. Now this pain, she had 25 years. So we have pain patch for everything, but this is the masterpiece. It will get rid of the pain as well, but it may not be in 2 seconds. But just know whatever you need, we got it.
So go ahead and open up.
Anybody, if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, that'd be great.
Yes, go right ahead. Anybody on here would like to do that. But as you're coming on, what I want you to do is for you to get in contact with me this evening, or no later than tomorrow, and we can talk. I'm going to get with the 3 that I've already sent out, and then I'm going to get anybody else that wants it. I'm going to send this information out to you as well, the application and information, so you can be part of the situation. If you don't want to get off mute and talk, send me a text, send me an email, give me a telephone call. That's why you can look in the where I shared my information in the chat. So go to the chat on this call right now and get my information for those that don't want to come off and want to talk to me. And I see my friend, Miss Iris Settles. So Iris, I'm going to send you, that's like my sister. So, I'm big brother, she little sister. So I'm going to send her package because we live in the same, one subdivision across from each other. So I'm going to send you your information because I know you're already in it. She is the Afrocentric queen when it comes to living natural and living well. So I'll get your package out to you as well. So I have
All
really,
right.
Miss
Does
Monk,
anybody have any questions? Because we're right at 7 o'clock now.
Miss Monk, I know you got to go to another call. I'm going to wrap it up. So
But I
I
have
guess,
a few minutes. I have a few minutes.
okay. So, but seriously, or you can want to type in and ask a question and we'll be glad to answer you. And there's so much more to this patch. We can't put everything in this call, but we want to give you highlights and we want to tell you how it's going to affect you first and change your life, and then how you can change other people's life. Just imagine everybody in your family that has these different sicknesses. Boy, I'm fixing to wear my family out. They're going to get tired of me because I'm going to be with patches right in front of them. But get them out of these different situations they've been living. See, you can live with something so long you become common with it. You think, I can never get better. Not true. So that's here. And let's see, LaMarco says, what did he say? I
We'll
didn't
call
see.
you tonight.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Monk, I am so grateful for you giving us this time today. We'll be getting you again, but it's going to be some live sessions where we can have people that can see you and talk to you. And she is just awesome, and I'm so glad I'm a part of her team. And you guys, I'm glad to have you guys come and be a part of this team. The main thing is yourself first, and then those that you love, those that you know, and even give your enemies some of these patches. They need to feel better too.
That's right. And I will say this call has been recorded. I will save it. I'll download it and send it to you, Eric. But also I'm going to do another call in 30 minutes, 7:30 Eastern time. If you are impressed by this information you heard and you wanted your wife or your husband to have heard it, I will have a couple that have an amazing testimony, and they'll be on this call at 7. Same information that you just got on, but at 7:30. So thank you all so much for your time. And we'll get you this recording. Thank you, Eric, for inviting me.
God bless.
Take care. All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys, take care.